Hey everybody, this is Everett Croxton with a special episode of the Book Cave. This is only going to be a few minutes of a video. And I'm getting ready to start a series of books of character that you may be familiar with, Buck Rogers. Now, his first book, his first appearance, is a lot different what you've may understand. Like right here, Armageddon 2419 AD, if you can see the cover, good. And that's the first, authorized, unabridged version of the series. Well, after that, that came out a long time ago. I mean, you can see it was an old paperback from 1920. Let me go and check on the date just to see. Okay, well, this says 1962, but it came out quite a bit ago. I mean, I think 1920s thereabouts was the original time, and it doesn't have a lot of these spaceships and stuff that you remember seeing on the old TV series. This is more down, kind of a war type after atomic wars and stuff. The way the planet looks like, and Buck Rogers is, like I said, he doesn't go and fly spaceships and stuff like that a lot. Then, years later, you had the sequel to that book. And the first one is by John Eric Holmes, Mordred. Let's see if I can get it in there right. And see it there? And let me read the back cover. Mordred from the fabled 20th century, a hero to save his country. In the year 2419, American guerrilla forces under the leadership of 20th century American Anthony Rogers, the same Rogers who would become, with a new nickname, the greatest comic strip hero of all time, overthrew the hideous Han invaders. Little did Rogers guess at the end of that momentous time that his adventures had only begun, that years later the Han would come ravening out of their underground hideouts, and that once again only he would stand between America and total destruction. Okay, now then you have two more books that came out after that. First is Warrior's Blood by Richard S. McEnroe. And after 3 years of deceptive peace, the fledgling civilization of mankind is threatened once again by its resurrected Han conquerors and the devastating military might of the fierce alien Prelude warriors who have lain hidden among the humanity since before the dawn of recorded history. Bad enough to be sure, but Marshal Anthony Rogers, leader of the provisional human government, has other problems as well, not least among them political turmoil within the shaky system he holds together with little more than his own will and the faith of the beautiful Han woman he loves, the Princess Luann. And Rogers can defend humanity against the Han and Prelude. He can maintain the fragile balance of power within his government, and he can save Luann from the witch hunters who see her as a symbol of all they hated for 300 years. But he can't do all three. Warrior's Blood. Then, of course, the last book, Warrior's World, same writer, Richard S. McEnroe. There's a short one back here. In trying to save the Earth, Anthony Rogers may have doomed it. His desperate assault on the alien Prelude lunar base has awakened a hidden Prelude legions left in suspended animation beneath the soil of that ravaged planet. And the nightmare begins as they resume a plan of conquest shaped before the dawn of human history. Like I said, there's a new Buck Rogers comic out right now that recently just started. I forget the name of the company. I've got it. I got issue 10, number 1, and this here is how the Buck Rogers originally started. Now let me go ahead and read the back of this first one. It's got a really nice cover. I didn't read that earlier. This is one of those rare stories that would bear reading and rereading many times. Hugo Gernsback. a most important influence on modern science fiction. The inspiration of such inventions as the walkie-talkie, television, and rocket artillery is the famous newspaper character Buck Rogers. The story of Rogers, the American who went forward 500 years to participate in the rise of a new America from the ruins of the old, was first told in the unforgettable novel Armageddon 2419 AD, which has never been available on the newsstands. Rogers' adventures and those of Wilma Deering, warrior girl of the 25th century, are by words of imagination stirring science adventure. Armageddon 2419 AD by Phil Nolan is no comic strip picture book. It is a science fiction novel of classic importance. So, I mean, I've read it, and I was very, it's like I've read the original comics, and they do read a lot different. This here came out in the pulps. If you can find this here, I mean, there is another version of this paperback which is abridged. If you can find the original, and I'm showing it up to you with this original, paperback came out in 1962, Ace Books. If you can get this, that way you can read how it originally came out, and you can see what Buck Rogers was. How he originally appeared, and see what you think of that. All right. Now there's like there 4 books, completely different from what you normally would read. I do have some more Buck Rogers. Let me see over here. All right. This here is based off the TV series. If you can see, Gil Gerard is in it. I haven't read any of these here. The only one I read was the original book. I have 2 books. This one here is Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, a novel by Addison E. Steele, based on a story and teleplay by Glenn A. Larson and Leslie Stevens. You got a lot of the artwork is from the characters from the movie and TV series. You got Gil Gerard. You had the all the different ones in there that had played in the TV series. All right, and another one, just a little bit different on the artwork. Same writer, Addison E. Steele, and it's the second book, that Man on Beta. Let's see if I can get it right. There we go. They got 2 here. Let me, this book here, the first one, says, "Come along on the greatest of all adventures. Join Buck Rogers in the 25th century as he plunges into cosmos on Earth's last deep space probe, as he succumbs to an assault of tremendously cold gases, as he is miraculously revived after 500-year frozen death, aboard a draconian Empire ship, only to become a plaything of the alluring Princess Ardala and a pawn in the treacherous game of Cain, menacing commander of the draconian fleet. As he returns to Earth, a stranger, feared, suspected, driven out into the lawless waste of Anarchia, with only a devoted android and a computerized drone to help him save his life and his planet from the dread of tyranny." And in the second book here, join the greatest of all space warriors as the most incredible quest of a star-crossed career through the terrifying wilds of Anarcharia, ruins of 25th century Earth, on an impassioned search for his own descendants, to the desolate remains of the Great Salt Lake, where ancient secrets are held, and the power-mad Cain crouches in ambush, to the asteroid Beta, where Theo, Buck's trusted compuvisor, is prisoner of the Draconians, who have hatched a scheme to conquer the universe, to the sin-filled supercity of Villas, where man's every sensual wish is the android's command, and most voluptuous Princess Ardala has big plans for Buck, to the rescue ship of Wilma Deering, in a spectacular chase through the space warp, and on an escape mission like none Buck has ever seen, not that is until he became Buck Rogers, that Man on Beta. Okay. And I'd like to, thank you for joining this show, and we'll see how we do later on. Thank you.